Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a video log for the match I just shot. A bit of backstory. This was about 45 degrees, a little bit overcast, very humid, and we decided to go shoot USPSA. So my intent is I'm going to kind of break this up and analyze the video as I see what I've done in the match and what my thoughts on it are and how I would improve, would I do it again, etc. Why I made choices that I made. So let's jump right in. We started on stage 2. I was the first shooter since we went by alphabetical order and last name. The basic setup as start position was seated at the table, gun loaded on the table, pointed down range. Then you got up, you ran down range. There was an array on your right of 2 open targets at about 5 yards. Then there was immediately an array on your left, 2 open targets at about 5 yards. And then you would reload, come into the last position, and there was an open target on your right at about 7 yards, an open target on about your left at about 7 yards, and then in front of 2 barrels were 2 no-shoot partials you had to run up and hit. Getting out of the chair went well. The first array, I shot it quickly, but my accuracy was kind of lousy. I think I had 3 Charlies or so through the first array, which is just dropping too many points on a stage like this. My reload didn't go as quickly as I would have wanted. It was my first one for the day out of those mag pouches that I like, so you hear kind of a delay there as I enter the last position on that close target. Wide transitions went well, and then I really took the time to actually hit the head box in the partials there to pick up all the alphas. I probably should have gone a little bit faster and been okay with Alpha Bravo on those, but all in all, the stage went okay. I think I took second on it. Stage 3 was a mirror stage, so you started in a shooting box. It was not the shooting area. Then you had 2 positions at the back of the box that were identical. It was 2 paper and 2 mini poppers at about 12 yards. Paper was at about 5, and you had to do that on the left side. Then you had to do it on the right side, and then you could advance, and there were 4 portholes, low ports, where you had 2 open targets apiece at about 5 yards, so it was kind of hosiery. So my plan was to go left to right because it's easier to reload for a right-handed shooter moving left to right, and then advance and take the first target as I saw it through the front porthole, then post up and take the one on the right, transition on to the target immediately to my right, and then shoot out of position while retreating on the target next to it through the porthole on my right, and then reload on the wide transition to the other target 180 degrees basically away, and then pick up the last 2 targets through the front left porthole. That was my plan. So my basic commentary for this stage is don't mic steel. I think I had 4 mics on steel. I got beat on raw time on this stage by about 3.5 seconds, and I easily spent 3.5 seconds making up that steel. So moral of the story is hit steel, don't shoot at steel. And you can see as I was trying to shift out of position in that first position, I wasn't giving the target the respect it deserved to hit the steel successfully at the distance I was at. So other than that, I did pretty good. The gun was up into position. I shot into position at the rears of the boxes. I was able to get all my hits on the move. I think I only dropped 1 Charlie. Points were good, but the raw time is what burned me up on that one. So I'd run that plan again if I did it all over again. I executed it fairly well except for shooting at the steel. But I definitely could have won that stage on the match if I had given the targets the respect they deserve. So pucker factor is a classifier. There are 4 classic targets with varying degrees of hard cover. I think like 5, 10, 15, and 20 yards. You just stand from a shooting box. It's a stand and deliver stage, and the option's up to you on whether you want to start and go far to near or near to far or something in between. Since I'm shooting a double action gun, I go far to near. But after I mic'd all that steel on the stage before, I was like, I'm going to shoot my alphas. I'm going to get those alphas. And I did get most of them, but at the expense of raw time. My raw time was atrocious at like 5.7 seconds. High hit factor on that stage. You have to shoot it clean in like 4 seconds or less, or something ridiculous like that. So you really do kind of have to hang it out there and go for the best you're capable of doing, which is what I did on my reshoot. So don't shoot aggressively, but shoot at your potential if you can. I guess that's the whole point of classifiers. But this stage didn't go well for me. I gave up several points on the match winner there.
Ready? Stand by.
I have the Tiger's a weird classifier where you start facing uprange with your hands relaxed at sides as opposed to wrists above shoulders, and you turn and then draw and engage 3 partial targets, 2 with no shoots, 1 with hard cover. So basically the aiming strategy everyone took, myself included, was just go for the head box, hope for the alphas, but be okay with Alpha Bravo or 2 Bravo. On this one I hung up my double action shot on the first target before I was fully settled into my index on the head box, and had a really good time, but that no shoot on a 30-point stage really hurts. So basically 2/3 of the points I could have earned were canceled out, and didn't go all that well for me. But luckily it's a low point value stage, so I think it only hurt me about 10 points on the match elite winner on this. When I reshot it, I shot a master class score, I think in 310. The third target I 2 bravoed, and you could cover the holes with 1 paster. So it went really well for me. I have to figure out what the heck it was I did that made me shoot those 2 classifiers on the reshoot so much better. But if I can figure out how to do that every time, I could be a master or a GM in pretty short order, I would say. But it's a good classifier. It's good to practice on partial targets. So be sure and do that if you're on a static range. Maybe cover up half of a target or something like that, and just try and engage it quickly in the best scoring area available.
I'm pissed.
Are you ready? Stand by.
So this last stage was a speed shoot. There were, I think it was 4 open targets and 1 tuxedo target, and wrist above shoulder start, and then you would just engage them in the order you see fit. Since I am right eye dominant, I generally will run a target array left to right if there's no compelling reason to do it otherwise. So that's what I did here. This is a testament to checking all of the stuff that you can check before the match, so you don't have things happen like this. This was I grabbed the wrong ammo. This was some practice ammo that I didn't check the primers on. I had a high primer, and not only was it a high primer, it was a hard primer. This batch of ammo was loaded with the S&B primers, which is difficult to punch, especially if it's seated high. So that's why I sat there in the second after the reload trying to pop a primer that wouldn't go. It took 3 strikes from double action to make it go. So chalk that one up to not dotting I's and crossing the T's on the fine details of going to a match. So always check your match ammo before going, because you're not trying to confirm how good all the 200 rounds are. You're trying to find that 1 round in 200 that's no good. So I didn't do that, and I paid the price. I think I could have won this stage if not for the match. Definitely production division. If I hadn't wasted about a second or more restriking that round, I don't know that if I had stroked it out if that would have been any faster, but I generally will try and pop it again with the double action. I nearly was about to stroke it out, but it went on the 3rd try. So all in all, it wasn't too bad.
Are you ready? Stand by.